And just like that, we are back with Chapter 69 of the Universe According to Mugsy. Today is Monday, May 12th, 2025. I am MugsyTheCreator, and we are talking current events, culture, and consciousness. It would seem to some who lack the perception that I am trying to impart on my audience that I am going in circles and circles on this podcast. It would seem the same types of topics come back up over and over again, and I talk about them incessantly. That is because what you lack from your point of view as the viewer, as the listener, is the ability to perceive the depth of what is going on as we start our journey, this spiritual ascent. Because it certainly feels like you are going around in a circle as you are growing and reaching the top of your full potential. As this, for the listeners at home, ordinary caution cone will depict, that is the reason I have to keep coming back to my friend Dave Portnoy. Man, of course this is where we have to start off this podcast. Of course 69 starts with Portnoy. I should be so grateful. He has been such an amazing friend to me over the years. Truly and honestly, authentically, he has been a great friend. He has taught me so many lessons time and time again about reality and what it's like to interact with it, which is why he needs me now more than ever. How many times have we talked about Dave bringing up the Arizona Bowl as just one of the many manipulations of Dave's energy? How about all of the publications that have seek to attack him over the years? There are just so many specific events that have happened to Barstool Sports on its ascent and then peak and now descent as an organization that Dave has just completely neglected my personal opinion on. Now, I get it. He's a busy guy. He's got a lot going on, and I understand why he wouldn't want to listen to a failure like me, which we're going to get into. But the insights that I can provide to him because of my extensive experience with his product over a sustained amount of time and my self-reflection during the same period is the reason he and I would make such a great pair. But instead, my friends have to bully him around. My buddy Dave Smith, on Part of the Problem, really laid it out pretty simply. Pretty simply articulated the reason why so many people are attacking Mr. Portnoy for his positions on Israel and Gaza and Palestine and all the current events that are going on in the world. Current events that I know Dave Portnoy, so busy, rolling around elbow to elbow, rubbing shoulders with the highest of society from his perception. These people that Dave surrounds himself with are the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. But Dave's a moron. Dave spends all of his time gambling on sports. Even the WNBA, which should have been the test of true people that were understanding exactly what's going on. You're not even backed by a casino anymore, buddy. You might have some partnerships with them, but the only reason that those partnerships are around are to sustain your bad habits. And you stand as the epitome of what everyone in your corporation wants to become. You are setting a bad example. You are not following along what's really going on in the world, certainly not the geopolitics, but somehow you believe that you should be able to comment on them and from your perch of power, descend on dumb moron peons to make yourself feel heard and feel tough. The problem is we're going in circles here. If I was just talking to Dave here, but there are a lot of people learning from Dave's experience. As we've said time and time again, what Dave has failed to recognize is most of the internet is fake, most of it is bots. So the increased activity that is anti-Semitic and anti-Israel in nature may be a specific attack on a particular individual to elicit some sort of response. It's almost like somebody keeps provoking Dave to look like an idiot, and he doesn't have enough real friends around him to provide him the information necessary to make the decisions I'm sure he would make if he just had some good friends to help him see another perception, another reflection of the light that he may be observing in some sort of mirror, in some sort of prism where you are not getting the full extent of the information that you are looking for. My friend Tim Dillon did it very funny in a more entertaining, maybe less heavy way than my buddy Dave Smith did it, but nonetheless, both of them serve the same purpose to crush my buddy Dave, who, as I said at the beginning of this podcast, is one of my good friends, one of my best friends. He just doesn't like to take my advice. It's so funny the way the tables have turned on all this. Oh, I have offered Dave several times to sit with me and become 5% happier, which is truly the move in the right direction that I think Mr. Portnoy needs to redirect and recalibrate himself to move in a new direction for himself. The best possible way for Dave Portnoy, with or without Barstool Sports, that's an afterthought. I'm talking about Dave Portnoy, the human being. Because if you are not able to focus on your own individual happiness, you are unable to create a heart-mind coherence that allows your heart to open up. And the whole universe becomes an intuitive, interactive experience with you. And every interaction is an opportunity to climb the spiritual ladder and face the universe or you inverse of the things that you don't love. Because until you love the things that are in front of you, the universe or you inverse is going to continue to bring them to you. Now, if you are rich as hell and you are unable to get comfortable, I am seriously sorry for you. Perhaps you should take my happiness class. I am so poor. I am so poor. I live in abject poverty. It is insane how happy I am. Somehow I have been able to magnetize myself with all the things that I need to create true happiness. I can sit out here in the middle of a park and do a podcast, shitting on someone so much more powerful he could crush me like a bug, right? Well, not shitting on him, offering my help. My buddies were shitting on him. I'm trying to get my friends to stop shitting on you, Dave. Because you're the butt of the joke right now, because the thing that you do not get is what has happened on the other side of the world in the Middle East. So many deaths, so many women and children needlessly dead. That's what you've missed. That's the extent of it. Do you want to know why you're the victim of such anti-Semitism? It's because people are maliciously attacking you, trying to provoke you to come out as some sort of Israel stand because they know what perception that puts you in. Because Jews and Israel are two separate things. They are getting all mixed up as one, as they intentionally are being done on purpose. And you fail to see that. And you wonder why it feels like the world's attacking you. It's because of what you fail to see, the reality that currently exists for so many other people out there. The current events. I'm not even in the culture and consciousness part where we're open to fucking interpretation. I'm talking about the current events, the actual fucking deaths. The blood sacrifices that have gone on in the Middle East are what you fail to understand in reality, the current events of what's going on. And I understand why. I get why. You got a lot going on in your reality. You haven't grounded yourself to anything. That's why I'm here. Oh, it's why you look like such a moron, buddy. It's why you should feel like such a moron. And if you don't, that is your own self-preservation. Your brain isn't allowing you to see the reality that currently exists. because it would truly crush you as an individual. It would put out your lights for good. What you need to do is you need to move slowly into the reality, the merged reality with everyone else. Because every light has a shadow. Every light has a reflection, right? You can't set a bomb off on the other side of the world without having some sort of equal reaction on the other side, right? So we had Palestine in this country. Do you remember it? It was East Palestine. It was one of the spiritual events that touched me so much, I realized I had to quit everything that I was doing and do this full time because I understood the war that was coming. The war is spiritual now more than ever, and I am still in the current events section of this podcast. That is what's going on. In the coming days, weeks, months, and years, you will understand East Palestine, Ohio, and what that chemical explosion truly was. Almost the exact same thing on the other side of the world. Oh, it's so horrible. So horrific, it gives me chills to draw the connections between the quantum mechanics that exists all over this reality that you fail to see. These are the quantum entanglements that are going on that we all suffer through, certainly us on the bottom of society. Until you're able to ground yourself and see the world clearly, perhaps through the eyes of a friend that has offered his friendship time and time again, I do not know how we change. Certainly Dave Portnoy. The perception of Dave Portnoy. All right, buddy. Somehow I always find myself standing next to the person in the room that's catching the most heat. All right, that's enough about Dave Portnoy. The thing that we must do, the thing that we must all do if we are truly on this path of spiritual ascension, whether you are on the fast path or the slow path, is to eat healthy, to change our chemistry and control our own thoughts. Then we need to remember to breathe so that we can clear our mind and allow the wisdom to come in. And then we must always laugh at ourselves because we must remember, overall, we know nothing. We know absolutely nothing, which is why we must be able to detach ourselves. I used to be very attached to this idea of being a comedian, and now I am not so attached to it. In fact, I play with it freely. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't, but it is important that I find new ways to ground myself and make sure that I remember that I'm a failure. Yeah, that's the reason. I'm a failure. Oh, I'm the biggest fucking failure that's ever existed. And thank the Lord I am the biggest failure that's ever existed because you learn more from an interception than you ever do from throwing a touchdown pass. I learned that from my friend PFT Commenter. Thanks, Dave Portnoy, for introducing me to him. All right, guys, but seriously, I've been kicked out of every fucking room that I've ever been in. Every goddamn job I had, more or less, I've been fired from. I fit in with the people at open mic nights who are about to go on stage and fucking eat shit. They are delusional human beings. I spend my time working inside restaurants with losers, all right? And people that are no. Losers. We're all fucking losers, right? That's what society has deemed us. We're all losers. We're ex-cons, or we're fired from banking, or we're kicked out of schools, or our parents have kicked us out, or we live in flop houses, okay? We're losers. We make money on tips. People tip us to go get them fucking ketchup, all right? And it says something about my mental state that I feel more comfortable around those open, authentic human beings than I do living inside of this fake society where everyone has to dress up and wear a fucking tie to certain fucking things. I never want to be a part of that. I would like to fail on my own. I would like to cultivate my own way, follow my own path, and become my own fucking failure, which is the only chance that I have of ever becoming any type of success in reality. So part of that was just this exercise, especially for this podcast, was to go out on the stand-up stand-up comedy stage and learn a few things about myself. Learn a few things about the way that I communicate to the world. Remember what it's like to stand under those bright lights of observation. Can you handle it? Are you able to hold that energy, hold that light for that whole room? Or are you able to fake it? If you haven't written anything down, if you haven't come up with something brilliant yourself. That is what the true test of the stage is, and it felt so good to fail again. I guess that's because I've been having so much success in other areas of my life that I really needed to push myself again to fail and remember that all I have to do when I fail is eat healthy, remember to breathe and laugh at myself, and somehow I will condition and orient myself back onto the path that is there truly for me, my individual path to follow. I am absolutely nuts, and that is what you must be if you seek to change the current events of the world. Okay? Because as we talked about, current events are the after effect after everything has gone on, after the chemical processes have gone on, after the energetic exchange. The current events are what play out, and we get to see what the hell has happened in our culture and in our society, okay? So if you want to have any hope down there, you better spend all your time grounding yourself, trying to understand the culture and the reality of things that are going on to control your own consciousness. Because your thoughts are electric, your emotions are magnetic, and if you really need something, you need to pull that in using electromagnetism and the universe. That's how we do things in consciousness. That's how we tie ourselves to these ideas in the quantum space, whether they are happiness, whether they are understanding, whether they are love. How do you think you interact with love? You are hurt time and time again, which is how I know that we are only faced with the things that we are ready for, only faced with the things that we are truly ready to handle. Because as we've touched on time and time again, the only time that exists is now equals MC squared, okay? Past and present, past and future are fabrications of our imagination. The only thing that could be coming up in our reality right now is something that could help us right now. A challenge, if you want to see it as such, or an opportunity to become a higher spiritual person. Become the best part of who you can be. If you're not on that ascension, at least to some degree, I don't understand what you're doing here, because there's plenty of people out in the world trying to crush it. Okay, trying to crush it. Those people are just projecting their own experience with the world back out onto it. If we see a broken world and we see broken people and it feels like they're attacking us, it's because the reality that they see is in some way broken. That used to be a baby. Okay, that used to be a baby that somehow grew up to believe the things that now this human being in front of you believes. Must we denigrate that human being? No. Try and look at them with compassion. Try and do everything we can using the invisible powers of the universe to help that person. What is that going to look like? That's going to look like loving someone more than they love themselves. That's what it's going to look like. Then we are going to change the world. Then we are going to affect the current events of what's going on. Because we're going to help people heal their own consciousness, heal their own reality, their own perceptions of the world, so that they can choose to live in other realities that we're all interacting with in real time, all the time. That homeless person that you walk by on the street that you choose to not see may not be homeless. It may be someone not wearing shoes like I am right now, recording a podcast that's going out to the world. You never know what's going on, and you're eliminating yourself to the dimensions of reality that exist by choosing to not even see them. Like we're wearing horse blinders. There's only so much time in a day. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. Where there is suffering, there is no flow. Where there is flow, there is no suffering. I can teach this to you in any way that you like. Do you want to talk about the angles in mathematics and I'll tie them to the archangels? Or do you want to talk about energy and flow in Tai Chi and I'll show you how to move the flow throughout your own body so that you may get the experience that the extraterrestrials, E.T., was reaching out and trying to touch you with? Or Leonardo da Vinci was trying to capture on that Sistine Chapel. The touching between God and man, that is raising the energy in yourself, raising your own spirit. Those are the dimensions that are available to you. And some psychopath like me, who loves people like Dave Portnoy and Barstool Sports and is trying to get his friends Tim Dillon and Dave Smith to stop crushing this man that clearly just needs a friend. That's all he needs, is a reality interpreter. He needs a little bit of Yoda, a little bit of the Oracle, and a little bit of Mr. Miyagi, all wrapped up in a Scooby-Doo packaging. And that's what MugsyTheCreator is, all right? That's all I have for you guys. That is the journey that we always go on. That is the current events, the culture, and the consciousness. I, luckily, this week got to crush myself doing some stand-up comedy. That's what helps keep me grounded so that hopefully I can work on my consciousness and face the opportunities that I have to love people in my environment more than they love themselves. That's all I got to do. That's what I'm here to do, and I'm going to try and interpret this reality as I see it for you guys so that you stand some chance moving about with your energy, your consciousness in the world, and trying to fight the patterns that are being thrust upon you from everything in your environment unless you learn to control your environment with your own electromagnetism, your own heart-mind coherence. That's how me and my buddy Robert Edward Grant do it. That's how Matthias DeStefano and I connect all the way around the world. It is truly a pleasure to be able to bring you this podcast. That was chapter 69, guys. I got to get out of here. Take back your consciousness. I love you. I'm out.